What is this thing?
It's called the Cosmic Staff. It's extremely temperamental. You blew up a car.
I didn't, it did. I'm Stargirl. And that's my sidekick.
I never used that robot before tonight. It was the first time.
Hey now, you're an all-star, get your game on, go play. Now, while that isn't the theme song to Stargirl or of Stargirl, the newest addition to the DC TV universe, oh boy, it should have been. Because this show is extremely fun, and since I first watched the few episodes over the past couple of weeks, I haven't really stopped thinking about it. I've gone back and rewatched them just because I couldn't stop thinking about them. And just a heads up, this is a non-spoiler review in regards to major plot points for the new show of Stargirl. So, Stargirl follows a 15-year-old Courtney Whitmore 10 years after the fall of the Golden Age of Heroes, that of course being the JSA, or the Justice Society of America. And this is as she moves from California to Blue Valley, Nebraska with her mother, her new stepfather Pat Dugan aka Stripesy, the former sidekick to Starman, a member of the JSA, as well as Pat's son. This move is something Courtney isn't really a fan of, so it is a bit of a challenge she faces from the get-go, but oh boy, this is definitely the easiest of challenges that she will soon face. But speaking of the JSA, they are cool from what you get to see with them in the opening 3 episodes. They aren't really focused on in these opening episodes as much as I guess many people would maybe want, but that is due to focusing on Stargirl's origin. But episode 3, when that rolls around, boy does that set up much more JSA focused story and action to come in the episodes that follow. I won't give finer details on certain members and all of that as there are surprises in the story, but we will get a much larger insight into this classic group of heroes than we've gotten in the past on shows like Smallville or Legends of Tomorrow, even, more recent. But when you have the JSA, you of course have to have the ISA, or the Injustice Society of America. Now, what happens with these characters is even more spoilery, and I don't even want to jump into the details of the members too much and how they play into the show, as there are various twists, turns, and just reveals that I would prefer you experience yourself throughout the opening 3 episodes. But I really did love how they played into the story so far, and not everything has even been revealed yet, so yeah. Early on, even though there was obviously major focus on Courtney and her journey into becoming Stargirl, a couple of members of the Justice Society get very emotional moments, and some shocking to go along with that. In regards to what the show feels like, does it feel like a Stargirl show, or does it feel like a JSA show, or a bit of both? For the episodes that we got to watch in regards to press, it definitely feels like a live-action Stars and Stripes show, that comic series from back in the late 90s, early 2000s, which is the comic series written by Jeff Johns, who created the show and wrote a decent amount of the episodes, where Courtney Whitmore and the Stripe robot Armor made their first appearances. Now, the Stripe Armor is inhabited by Pat Dugan, who's actually been around since the 1940s. But in the 3rd episode, they definitely set up us heading into a more JSA-oriented show, or a more heavily influenced JSA show, if that makes sense. Definitely not taking over Courtney being the focus, but the legacy of the JSA being, ingrained and embedded in the show. There's obviously the discussion, what does it feel like? Does it feel like the DC Universe shows that have come from the past? Does it feel more in line with the Arrowverse? The best way to describe it is it's a mixture of the two, and in regards to tone, style, and just how the characters are done, it definitely feels like an Arrowverse show. The characters are really fun to hang around and stuff like that, which with some of the DC Universe shows, sometimes they go for a bit of a darker take, if that makes sense. So Stargirl definitely feels more like if you're watching, early, the early seasons of The Flash and getting to know those characters and everything like that, and even other shows with a bit of a lighter tone and everything like that. But the production quality is very, very high. They've had a lot of time to perfect the CGI and everything like that, which we'll jump into in a second. So it's definitely got that higher production quality. So that's probably the best way to describe it. It's like if The Flash was given a ridiculous budget. That's pretty much the best way to describe how the show feels and looks. But yeah, in regards to visual effects, that's something that I think a decent amount of people would be wondering whether they are good or not in the show, seeing we're dealing with a big robot as well as various superpowers. And from the opening episodes, they are pretty damn good. I mean, there are obvious shots where you can tell it's VFX or CGI, and it can seem a bit wooden in regards to how people are moving, but I can only think of maybe 2, maybe 3 moments like that in the opening few episodes. I mean, Stripe, the robot, looks great. They have both a physical prop version of the robot armor, but of course, whenever it's moving and stuff and flying, it's CGI. And you see both Stripe as well as Courtney as Stargirl with her cosmic staff in daylight, which is usually a risky time to use CGI or VFX, especially on a TV budget, but it looks pretty damn good. In regards to the cosmic staff itself, the VFX on that is honestly great, and the relationship between itself and Courtney is pretty pretty funny to watch, especially early on. But that staff is a troublemaker, as you'll get to see in the very first episode as well. But in regards to individual characters, Brec Bassinger is Stargirl. She does a really good job. Jeff Johns personally cast her in the role, which is a big thing, seeing that Courtney Whitmore is based off his sister who tragically passed away in a plane crash. So there is a responsibility almost on Brec's shoulders to honour that, and I think she does that with flying colours, or should we say shooting stars. Anyway, I can't wait to see more of her in the role. But it is Courtney Whitmore's back and forth with Luke Wilson's Pat Dugan where the show has a lot of fun, and Luke Wilson as Pat Dugan is easily the heart of the show early on. His character definitely has some mysteries that we get to find out, but just every interaction he has with any character is a joy to watch, and a certain scene with him at a gym is quite a laugh. In regards to the supporting younger characters on the show, we are introduced to them, but there's no real exploration into them too much. That is to come in the episodes following episode 3. The first 3 episodes are really about setting up Courtney as Stargirl and her relationship with Pat Dugan, as well as some of the Injustice Society as well, and almost like creating some motivation in regards to some characters there. So that's really the aim for the first 3 episodes, and pretty much all these supporting younger characters are going to come in the episodes to come after that. In regards to the supporting adult characters, of course the Injustice Society, I'm not going to mention specific members because that's when you're going to jump into spoilers, but look, they're very interesting. That's the best way to say it. I'm intrigued to see how they play into the entire season and where it goes. Because there were some just like really surprising moments with like whether just one person doing something or a couple of people doing stuff together. It's very interesting. I can't wait to see where it goes, especially when you tie in flashbacks and everything like that, and maybe seeing how certain people came to be and everything like that. It's very intriguing. I'm excited to see what they do there. And of course we do have Courtney's mother, Barbara. She plays into the show earlier on, of course, because she's Courtney's mother. But obviously, in regards to like a parental figure, obviously Pat Dugan is there like 5 times more than her. So in regards to Courtney's mother, I'm sure we'll see her more in the episodes to come as like, maybe Stargirl starts to affect Courtney's normal life more, if that makes sense. Now, Jeff Johns was obviously going for like an 80s flavor in the show. I think he's even said it in some interviews, and that's what he was sort of going for. He was even going for like stuff that he grew up with. And it definitely has that. Like you'll understand like certain like Back to the Future stuff and various like 80s movies embedded within the show in regards to tone and even like little references and homages and stuff like that. I mean, Goonies is even playing on a screen at one point, and I think it's in the first episode. So there's a lot of little 80s flavor bits in this show. Like even like the town they're in feels like they're in like the 50s or 60s, but then there's also things that make you think you're in like the 80s or 70s and stuff. So it's sort of like a timeless town that they're in regards to Blue Valley. But in regards to issues I had with the show, in the first 3 episodes, not really. Like if I got to watch the entire season, I'm sure I'll be able to pick out a handful more. But in regards to the first 3 episodes, it wasn't really anything I had too much of an issue with. I could argue, okay, could we have seen more of the JSA and everything like that? And you could argue yes. But the only thing that sort of made me like raise my eyebrows sometimes was when they do like action scenes, and I think there's only like 2 in these first 3 episodes where they do this thing, but they do like a zoom, and they did put it in the most recent trailer, I think that came out before we were able to do these reviews, and I'll try and put a clip of it on the screen right now. They do look like this zoom thing, which looks weird. I'm not too sure how many times I'm going to see it, but it was in the trailer for a fight scene that wasn't in the first 3 episodes, so I'm assuming it's going to be throughout the entire season. But it was just odd seeing this like zoom thing. I might get used to it, but I'm sure you guys will see, because I think it's in like the first 5 minutes of the opening episode. So you'll definitely know what I'm talking about. I think they might even do it twice in that fight scene, but they just do this weird zoom thing that I don't think I've seen too much in regards to other stuff. But maybe I'm just not used to it, and I will get used to it as the show goes on if they're going to keep doing it. But yeah, it caught me a bit off guard. Weird thing to like nitpick, but yeah. But in regards to Stargirl, should you watch it, and why should you watch it? My personal preference is because of the style of channel that I am. If you love the Arrowverse, and you love especially like early Arrowverse seasons of the particular shows, I think you will love Stargirl, because as I said, it is pretty much that tone, and even like the characterization, how they make you learn to like make you love the characters and stuff. They do that exactly on Stargirl like they did with the other Arrowverse shows early on, but as I said, it's just got a ridiculous budget, so everything's just more grander. It does feel like in some aspects that it could be on the big screen, that this could be a movie, but we're getting a 13 episode show, which is very cool. So I highly recommend it. Like, I don't think the whole season's going to be for everyone, because people might just not be attached to certain characters and everything like that, but you should definitely give it a go. I would try and give at least up to episode 3, because episode 3 really pushes the plot forward and just introduces some stuff where you're like, okay, this is going to keep me hooked. But episode 1 and 2 is really that Courtney origin. Like that's, or her Stargirl origin. That's the first 2 episodes, and episode 3 is really pushing what the season's going to be. So I would definitely recommend watching at least up to episode 3, watching 3 weeks worth, and yeah, just giving it a go, because look, I'd be surprised if anyone hated it, to be completely honest. I'd be shocked, but it just might be, you know, a difference in regards to whether people just, hey, I like it, or you love it. Because personally, I really love this. I love Stargirl as a character. You know, Stars and Stripes was one of the first comic series I actually read. So just to see it play into the show like this, and it's heavily influencing it, I'm just a big fan. I can't wait to see where it goes. But yeah, Stargirl will premiere on May 18th on DC Universe, and then free on the CW the day after on May 19th, so keep your eyes out for that. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed my video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like and it shows support. Let me know in the comment section down below. You're looking forward to Stargirl, which character from Stargirl you're looking forward to the most, and yeah, if you want to leave any thoughts on my review, I guess you could if you want to in the comment section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.